and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chengetai Victoria, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, join the family. Today I'm going to talk to you about 10 tips for planning your own wedding from someone who just planned their wedding and just had it in December 2022. So I'm going to do my skincare as I talk to you guys. Let's go. I'm going to start off with toner because I've already washed my face. This is just a simple, soothing facial toner. I'm just going to apply that on my face. So the first tip is, if you're planning a destination wedding, make sure to tell people ASAP. Like, let them know, even if it's a save the date because you haven't secured your venue yet, let them know. Because people are going to be paying for flights, hotel, accommodation, that kind of thing. So they're going to need to know so they can plan their finances in advance. So when we decided we're going to do our wedding in South Africa, so we set out the save the dates, I think it must have been like November 2021, and then we went to South Africa in December 2021, found our venue, and then finally sent out our invites in February of 2022. That actually leads me on to point number 2, which is let your bridal party know as soon as possible, because most likely you're going to need the help as well from them. You're going to need the help from your maid of honor, your friends. The guy's going to need help when he goes suit shopping, and especially if you're having a destination wedding, they're going to need to prepare their finances too, unless you got it like that and you're going to pay for all their flights and accommodation. Next, I'm going to use this simple vitamin C serum. I love using vitamin C because it's really brightening for the skin and it hydrates the skin as well. And I use this during the day and then niacinamide during the night. Tip number 3, create a wedding website. Now, you might think this feels like really unnecessary. However, it's so helpful because people will have questions. People want to know what is the dress code, and yeah, it will be on the invite, and they want to know, like, I don't know, what's the closest airport? What is the closest train station? What's the nearest hotel to the venue? So give them all that information online, and as well you can add like more personal touches, like how you guys met, like a story of how you guys met, or your favorite things to do together, just so people feel really close and in touch with the couple. So we used Withjoy. It's a platform that allows you just to create a website on there. You don't have to do anything fancy. You literally just choose the colors, the fonts, add your pictures and your text. That's about it, which was really helpful because we had a 3-day wedding, and so all the information was there, and we also added contact details for who to contact if they needed any help, which is super helpful. And using Withjoy costs nothing, but there are other options like the Knot and hitched.co.uk. So these are all great options for creating your wedding website. Just find whatever works for you, or if you're really techie, go on Squarespace and create your own website from scratch. The next tip is for the girlies. So what's this, number 4? That is to start looking for your wedding dress as soon as possible. I would say a year in advance, especially if you're someone who's picky, because you want to give yourself as much time as possible, because wedding dresses take forever to make if you're getting made from scratch. So I started looking for mine actually, I think back in November 2021, but I only found my dress in April and March 2022, and it took 6 months to make. I didn't even get to see it until September or October of that year. So it's a very long time, and you have to take into account that you may have to get things altered unless it fits you perfectly, and that takes a while as well because they're gonna have other orders. So to get my dress altered, I think it took a month. So that's a month in addition to the 6 months that it took getting made, and I think I only picked up the dress like 2 weeks before we even flew out for the wedding. So it was really tight, even though I started looking back in November. So start looking as soon as possible. Next, I'm going to use this vitamin C moisturizer, a company called Dr. A. You guys might know that I do some UGC work, and I tend to do it in the like skincare industry, and this is insane. Like, it's so good. Like, for me to come on here to show you and that I'm still using it to this day, it means I really like it. Like, the texture is really nice, like a moisturizer. I'm just going to apply that to my skin. My next tip is, and may only apply to black people, because black people and black timing, good God. So we told people to RSVP by May of 2022. Bear in mind our wedding was in December of 2022. People did not follow that. All they had to do was go on the website and RSVP. Also, that's another reason why to have the website, because then you don't have to wait for people to send you messages. You just do it through the website. People did not RSVP on time, which was obviously super frustrating, as you can imagine, and we had to do a lot of chasing. Now, we had quite a lot of people come to the wedding, 350 people in fact, so you can imagine all those people that we had to chase. And it will even be like your nearest and dearest who will not RSVP on time, like my mom. Which is fine, I'll go do it for her, but then it'll be like your aunt saying, oh, I thought you'd do it for me. I can't do it for everyone. Like, if you could just help, just go on the website. Like, if you're having technical difficulties, ask someone, please. So give people a lot of time. You're gonna have to chase, unless your family and friends are just fantastic and they get back to you as soon as possible. So we gave them a May, and then we told them again that by September, if we don't hear from them, they're going to be taken off the list. It was only, I think, end of October that we had a final list. But then this is another thing you have to know if you're planning a destination wedding, that people will cancel last minute, and it may be because of financial reasons. Maybe they thought they could afford it but now they can't, or maybe they just hadn't booked the flights on time and now they're expensive, or things happen. Basically, life happens, and you just have to make sure you don't take offense, because some things are out of people's control and you can't get angry about it. So another thing is, I would give the bridesmaids a rough idea of what you want in terms of how you want them to look. So this could be hair, how you want the makeup to look, how, if you're asking them to choose a dress, like how you want the dresses to look, like all these kind of things. Give them as much information as possible, because I feel like if I was a bridesmaid, I would want to know as much information as possible so that I'm not having to ask you loads of questions. So I actually created a guide, and I'll try to show you guys here on the screen, where I basically gave the bridesmaids as much information as I could. If you guys would like this guide, click the link in the description box and I will send it to you. Next, I'm going to go in with this CeraVe moisturizing cream. I really love CeraVe, and I think this is probably the most expensive product on this list because everything else is really affordable. But my next tip is bring your bridesmaids and groomsmen together so they get to know each other. It creates such a nice vibe when everyone knows each other, and it means that at the wedding everyone just feels comfortable and has built like relationships with everyone. So it's just that more fun and intimate. I don't know how to describe it. Like, everyone from my bridal party is like best friends now. My next tip is, everything's expensive. As soon as the word wedding is there, everything becomes expensive because people are crazy and they want to suck all the money out of your bank account. So be prepared that flowers will be extortionate. You know, you'd think like, what do you mean? I could literally pick flowers out the garden? No, honey. Flowers are so expensive, it's crazy. So be prepared for the costs. And next week I'm going to take you through a literal breakdown of everything that we paid for the wedding, so that it gives you a rough estimate. But bear in mind, obviously these will be South African prices, or you may need to do things by yourself. DIY some of the things if you can. So I actually use Canva to create my wedding invites, which cost me loads of money because I don't know why wedding invites are so expensive when some of the designs are not even that cute. And I also designed my own menus and got them printed myself. Again, if you want these templates, then click the link in my description and I can send them to you. I actually don't know what number we're on right now, but wedding planning is a lot. So I'm on to SPF now. This is only SPF 30 from Revolution. Write everything down that you need to do, or Google a checklist, or again, click the link below and I'm going to send, and I can share with you the list that I created for the wedding. My wedding to-do list, so that makes your life a lot easier. This list will help you and kind of give you a timeline. So let's say you've given yourself a year, I would say give yourself 3, maybe 4 things that you want to achieve each month. Let's say month 1, you want to finalize your venue and also find a wedding dress. Those could be your tasks for you, and it also means that you're not applying too much pressure on yourself. You just take it one step at a time. The next month you could focus on the flowers and the entertainment, that kind of thing. Just make sure that you have everything on paper so that you don't forget anything. Right guys, that was everything, and I hope you found that useful. So make sure to subscribe so that next week you can watch my wedding financial breakdown, and then we will both find out how much we actually spent on this wedding, because I do not have a clue. Thanks for watching guys, bye.